investors.
Welcome back, everyone, to another sensational podcast with MYB. In today's session, guys, we're going to talk about your strategy is not the problem. Your execution is the problem, right? Your strategy is fine, but your execution is the problem, right? You guys have the perfect strategy, but when it comes to execute, your brain going stupid, right? So in this session, we're going to cover the lie. I need to be a better strategy. The lie, I need to find a better strategy. The lie, I need to be a better strategy. Lie, I need to keep scrolling on YouTube. I need to keep watching YouTube. Then we can cross over. We can talk about where execution breakdown. The proper way you should execute your trade. Make sure it's a disciplined trade. Make sure you journal the trade. Make sure you screen record the trade. Make sure you analyze the trade, right? Why execution matter more than strategy, right? Because you gotta look at it this way: you could have all the wisdom, you could have all the answers, but if you don't take the first step, like a journey to 100 miles, you start with the first step, right? So if you don't execute, your strategy pointless, right? And the strategy is gonna always be the same until you change it. Not even change it, just tweak it. Your edge doesn't come from your strategy. It comes from your execution. It comes from you being consistent, regardless how you feel. Because feel is an illusion, especially to a man. You should just gotta do it regardless, right? And then we can talk about how to fix it, how to fix all of this execution, right? We're gonna talk about how to trade less, how to observe more, the pre-market plan for every trade. You journal your execution, not just your wins and losses. You trade with smaller lot size for it because money in the stock market is secondary, right? You master the technical analytic, which is the trading view. Trading view is like 97% of the time technical analytic, 1% buy, 1% sell, and a 1% when the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, or in February, when someone new come in, he talk on the market go one way or whatever, right? Other than that, you guys got to review your habits, right? Review your trading habits on the chart. Normally, how I review the strategies and the test is at night, before after the market close. When I'm about to go to sleep, I journal my I have like two journal book. One for non-trading, just journal my regular day, and the other notebook is for the trading notebook. So pretty much I look at it. Why did I buy? Why did I sell? And as long as it like saying the same thing, breakout structure to the long side, or a 6-line folder, or an emotional trade that I buy for tomorrow, at least everything is journal and everything is right down. Because without that, guys, to be honest with you, if you guys never journal it, you guys would never really execute it and learn to become a better trader for the next day, right? So stop blaming the strategy, right? The truth is, most traders don't have a strategy problem. They have an executing problem, right? In this episode, I just gonna chat about it. Real reason why you keep losing, your discipline, your mindset, and your habits. So how do we fix this all together, right? Today's episode is just gonna be me chatting straight up as always, because these videos is just gonna be the same thing over and over and over. It's just gonna be a different format, or I may layer it different. I know that stuff's to hear, but listen, if you're gonna keep backtesting, study, taking notes, watching chart, and you still can't find consistency, it's fine. Keep going regardless, because in trading, as long as it's not emotion, that's all that matters. As long as not emotion, it's all that matters, right? Keep going, because regardless, this door we're trading, as long as you open it, you cannot go back, right? So it's probably not the system. Like I said, it's you. Like in the maybe third podcast segment, I say, you are not your mind, you are not your body. The trade don't even have nothing to do with you. The trade have nothing to do with you, right? The lie. You guys always tell yourselves, I need a better strategy. Let's be real, right? How many strategies how many strategies have you tried this year? You tried 10 strategies, 15, maybe more. And every time, every month, you start over. Why? Because when you do the back test, the strategy work. When you go in demo account, the strategy work, right? But then one losing streak on the real account, boom, this strategy don't work. Why it don't work? Because demo account is an illusion. Back testing is an illusion. You might as well, like I said in yesterday's podcast, draw up BTC and USD and practice your trade there. But the truth is, right, most strategy work. Moving average work, crossover work, breakup pattern work, supply and resistance work, trend line work. They all work, right? If you actually stick with them long enough to execute it, I guarantee you every strategy in the stock market work. So what really happening, right? You guys are looking for the perfect setup. I was that once too. But the thing about looking for the perfect setup, you're gonna find a million setup, and all million setup is guaranteed the working setup. Every system you find in trading is the winning trading. every system is the winning system. It's come down to emotion, because you could, for example, right, you guys could put all the best way for you traders to become profitable, if you know you're like emotional, which you guys could do, right? Download a bot. I'm not gonna tell you guys the website. You guys can look for it yourself, because it takes me a time to look for it. Go on ChatGPT, ask her the right question, because in life it comes down to asking the right question. Ask the right question. She's gonna take you to a website that's gonna build you a bot. All you have to do is implement your two trading strategy into this bot. If you guys trade on Trade Locker, you know what I'm talking. Where I'm gonna go with this, because what the bot do is, all you have to do on Sunday before the market open for Monday, set your risk management for every trade. So in the bot system, you have your rules, which is a 6-line folder, or your other rule, which is the breakout structure, right? And then you throw at $400 into the bot, $500 to the bot, whatever, $10, $8, and you say for each trade you're only risking $10. So every time the bot buy and sell a trade, it's only risking $10, $15, $17, and the profit is gonna be when it hit TP. So you would never even you wouldn't even know you're in a trade, to be honest with you. That's how fascinating the bot could be. You could just be minding your business. You can be sleeping and the bot will be trading for you. Because why? At least you wouldn't look at the screen. So by you not looking at the screen and you're not checking your money, your emotion gone, right? It don't exist, because like I said, you're not even a part of the stock market. But that's the scary thing about it, right? About what I just said. What I just said, the one flaws about it, you not growing and learning. You're winning, yes, because a robot is doing. A robot is smarter than human. You're winning, yes, right? But if you think about it, you're not learning nothing, right? The point about the stock market and the trading, you should be in love with just drawing up the chart, and you should be in love with just making a trade, with just being disciplined and know all your hard work. Eventually, maybe 10 years from now, whatever, then you can create a bot. But in the first 5 years, 10 years, whatever, just learn it. Because I'd rather you learn it and make $0 or break even than you emotional trade, use a bot and be able to retire your family, but you still will feel empty and lost, because you didn't go through the struggle. Because no struggle, no story, right? So where execution breakdown, right? So what poor people execution actually look like? Let me give you a few symptoms, right? You enter the trade too early before the trade come to you. You exit too soon out of fear. You size up randomly on trades that feel good. You revenge trade after a loss. You don't follow your own plan. Even when you just write it down the night before, you meditate on it. Everything you do, you meditate, you wake up, you go to the gym. As soon as the stock market bell open, 8:30, 8:35, 8:40, your heart, everything's gone out the window, right? If that sounds familiar to you, can't complain. This isn't a strategy issue, right? This is a lack of trust, lack of discipline, lack of emotional control. Execution breakdown when your mindset isn't trained to handle the pressure in the market, right? I get that. Especially when you see 1, 2, 3 candlestick going your way, and you thinking, yep, the market is going my way or not against me. And the moment you take your emotional contract and you take that, like I said, especially if you take an emotional contract, you should risk at least $10. Don't blow your entire portfolio on an emotional contract, right? So why execution matters than strategy? The reason why execution matters than strategy, because you guys can stare at that chart 24/7, right? Constantly discipline, use high probability setup, wait for extra confirmation, fear, FOMO. You don't need to be the best, right? You just need to show up consistently, follow a discipline plan, and track your process, right? Same with trading. You don't need to discover nothing. It's no holy grail. Everything about that's one eye-opening thing about trading. Everything about trading is right. There's no such thing as wrong in trading. Every strategy, everyone you come across, every strategy is right. If you talk to someone, whatever they say is right. It's no, oh, he's wrong. It's just a different perspective. And with trading, nothing is wrong, right? So your edge doesn't come from your strategy. It comes from your execution. How to fix your execution, right? So what we're going to do, how long do you go from emotional trade to inconsistency to calm to lock in? Because the moment you press buy, your whole everything out the window. You're panicking after red candlestick, almost price hit your stop loss. You're having a heart attack. Price reverse when it close to your TP. Everything is going against you, right? So the best case scenario, either you trade less, you observe more, right? You don't need to take 10 trades a day. You need one good trade or two trades because you're waiting for the high probably setup, right? For the pre-market, every before 6 o'clock, at least you should have your pre-market. You should know where you're about to enter, where your stop loss, where you take profit, where your imbalance zone is. If the setup doesn't look right, guess what? Don't even trade. And before you buy the trade, right, you must journal yourself or record your execution if you buying the trade, not just wins or loss, right? So you can write down, did I follow my plan? Did I size correctly? Did I manage my emotion? Track everything you do, because in trading, in this, you're gonna have a lot of books of just straight notes of you just going back and forth with it, right? So trading with small lot size, right, you lower your risk because at the end of the day, the money is secondary. You can always increase your risk, because if you start off with a higher risk, you might just last 2 months in the stock market, because wow, you don't have no capital to buy more contracts, right? So the last money you have in the stock market, you have like $10 to buy a cheap contract, because at the end of the day, your plan and trading view still working. So as long as the plan and trading view working, that's all that really matters, right? So you guys gotta stop hunting for trades. Let the market come to you, right? In the stock market, let it come to you, right? Leave it to you to be patient. That's all you can do, right? Stop hunting for the next strategy. Start mastering execution. Because if you can follow through on what you have right in front of you and be disciplined enough to take the trade, right? What really are you doing? What really are you just jumping up to trade? Because your entire morning was discipline. Congratulations. Like you did it. I'm proud of you. You wake up, everything was disciplined. So what happened soon as 8:30 happened, right? What happened soon as 8:30 happened? The problem isn't the chart, right? It's the choice you make in front of it, right? It's the choice you make in front of it, right? And if you can fix that, if you can become calm, focused, peaceful in front of the chart and have no fear, no worry, because why? The chart do not really matter. It's your mind, because your chart is going to always be there, right? The chart is going to always be there. Your mind is going to always be there. But what you're taught from the second thought, that's what really matters, because the first thought, you can't control the first thought, right? So stop blaming the strategy. The truth is, most traders don't have a strategy problem. Like I said way back in the beginning, you all have a mentality problem, right? So if you guys can control your mind, you can control the trade, right? So with all of that chatting, like I always do, right? The key thing for this, guys, without courage, you can't move forward, right? Strategy is just 50% of it. Let's say strategy 50% of it, and your emotion is the other 50% of it, right? So congratulations, you guys have the strategy. You already ahead of the game by at least having a strategy. Now, if you don't have a strategy and you don't know to control your emotions or be aware of your emotion, what are you really doing? So you have no strategy and you're trading emotionally. So if you have no strategy and you're trading emotionally, you might as well go to the casino. Now that is what you call gambling, right? No strategy and straight emotion, that's gambling. With trading, you have a strategy and you remove emotion, because you have your strategy, which is the line and the folder, and your emotions have no ties to it, right? Even though your emotions could be a part of it, especially when you guys up in profit. That's why I tell you guys, stop looking at the phone. But that's even before you guys take profit. At least you guys take profit. But to just jump into the trade, selling is a different agenda than when you buy a contract. Because the moment you buy a contract, you're hoping it just go in profit, right? So you're hoping it just go in profit. So the moment it go in profit, you'll wait for like maybe $15. Oh, now you're fearful of losing that $15, which you should be like, all right, congratulations, I have 3 contracts. Or you can just sell off 1 contract there, or you can add on more lot size, because to become a really good trader, you don't take profit while you up. You add on to it. You add on and you take off at the same time. So as you going up, you take off, and as you up, you add on. Right? Other than that, guys, mind your business.